Hey everyone, my name is Trevor Dayley with MagMod. Thanks for joining me for another How I Shot It. Today, I got Arno De Bruijn. Arno, how are
Hi
you doing?
there. Hi.
Hey, thanks so
How are
much
you
for
doing?
joining me, Arno. Hey, I know people have seen you before. We've done this before, um, and not only that, but you're all over the MagMod community, all over YouTube, everywhere. But tell everyone where you're from, and then we'll get into a little bit more about your work.
Yes, I'm Arno. I'm from the Netherlands. That's a small country in Europe, and I'm a creative wedding photographer and also a teacher. And I like to be creative, and I like to share all the creativity with all the photographers in the world. So that's what I do.
That's awesome, Arno. I love not only are you creating stuff on YouTube and stuff, but you also have like ebooks and you have Patreon and you got things all over the place. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to pull up your Instagram page first because I think that's like kind of an easy way for people to just find you. But guys, make sure you see that his he's got that Netherlands spelling right, the Arno de Bruijn, Bruijn. And
Yes.
then Arno, I noticed that when you click on the link here, it actually pulls up kind of like all your different places. So if you guys are looking for how to find Arnold, how to find more information, definitely go check that out. And then of course you have this academy here. Arnold, tell us real quick. I mean, what are all these things here? You got ebooks, you got all kinds of stuff here, right?
Yeah, I've started about 5 years ago with the ebooks.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people in the Netherlands who did workshops with me want to have something on paper, and I produced a small creative photography book with MagMod
Uh-huh.
with light piece. And after that, some people from the US and England and other countries asked me, "Oh, we want also that book," but that book was in Dutch. So a year later, I produced the first printed book, the Be Creative book with the eye
Mm-hmm.
on it.
I
One,
remember I have a copy.
but it's so expensive to ship
Uh,
a book these days. It's about $40 shipping cost to get a book across the ocean.
Jeez.
And during the pandemic, I choose to create ebooks instead of printing books. And that was quite a success. So I have already about four or five ebooks now, and a
That's
free
awesome.
one,
That's so
also a
cool.
free.
And Arno, I want to point out as well, you have this a Patreon channel. So patreon.com, Arnold De Brown, and you got I mean 124 posts, and I mean what is it, $10 to become a Patreon, $10 a month.
Yeah.
So quite a bit cheaper than going to a, like, let's say a workshop or something, but opportunity to see lots of behind the scenes of what Arnold's out there creating and doing. So definitely, guys, go check him out. Go give him some support. You're doing amazing things, Arnold. So I love seeing everything that you're creating. And like I said, I actually have a copy of your creative book, the one with the eye on it, the reflection in the eye. Amazing stuff. So if your ebooks are anything like that, I know absolutely 100% they're amazing, and I have to get my hands on them. So I want to check those out. So
Yeah. Thank you.
Arno, before we jump into your images, I gotta say you got this really cool thunderbolt right behind you there. That's like the perfect MagMod logo. I know it's just probably Flash,
Yes.
but I love that.
Yeah, I bought it on Amazon a few months ago, and I
Really?
redesigned. Yeah, redesigned my office here
Uh
with some Mickey Mouse stuff like that on the
Here, let's bring it up here.
behind me,
Oh
and
yeah, there it is.
and some neons. But I found that it's about $15, and you get the MagMod logo on your wall.
I love it. That's awesome, man. Well, very cool. Well, Arno, I am going to pull up your images here so we can jump right into this and share them with the world. And this first one that I want to start with is actually, I was looking at it and my mind was like, seriously, like, how in the world did Arnold pull this off? So I'm going to let you share with everybody before we actually even show them a video that we have. So tell us kind of how you shot this, and then maybe you can set up to the video and we'll bring that up and you can kind of walk us through it if that's cool.
Yeah, this is a multi-exposure image. With I shoot Canon, and with Canon you can create multi-exposure raw files, and that's a super nice creative function in that camera. Other brands also can shoot multi-exposure, but some brands shoot only JPEG. So then you can swivel your RAWs around in Photoshop. But with my camera, I can blend about 3, 4, or 5 raw files in one raw file in camera. And this was an idea for when it's raining. When it's raining, we always go to a parking lot, and a parking lot is a super boring environment. But you can turn that boring environment with MagMod into something awesome, and you can create simply a silhouette in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But with that multi-exposure in my mind, I tried that out with daylight photography and some creative things with 2 exposures. But when we were in that parking lot, I thought, why don't we try that multi-exposure with the MagMod gels? In the Creative Pro gels, you have the RGB colors, the green one, the red one, and the blue one. And if you create a silhouette and you create 3 silhouettes in a multi-exposure with your camera, that will blend that image in a super nice creative image. And with that mirrorless cameras, you can see what you are doing. So you can focus and put your couple exactly in the right
Composition of the photo there.
In the composition,
Yeah.
so you can see what you are doing. And if you're using the RGB colors, that's like a rainbow effect, because they will blend together into more colors, and that's why we tried this thing out in the parking lot when it was raining.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Arno, I'm going to bring up, because there's a behind the scenes video now. Is this a video? And actually, here's the behind the scenes photo, so we can kind of see how you had the flash behind them and so forth. But I want to show this video, and I'm going to mute the audio on it, because I want, as we're walking through this video now. First off, let me see. Turn the audio down over here. Is this the type of video that you're putting on your Patreon channel? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I put some live shoots on my Patreon like this, with the light recipe and all the settings of the camera, and also the BTS video things. And I also explain in my videos everything what I'm doing live on that video. So my patrons can go back in that video and can learn step by step with all those videos, all the special creative tricks. And at the end of the video, and in the post on my Patreon, they can download the light recipe and all the camera settings, and also the off-camera settings from the flashes and the colors we used.
That's awesome. So Arno, I have the video rolling here. And the one thing that I wanted to really show people was the spot here. I love the video, by the way. When I watched it, I was like, oh my goodness, that's how he did it. But I want to go to the spot where you actually are shooting here, because what you were explaining about the creating the multiple exposure in it, I never really considered doing it this way. But you actually you put the gel, you'll shoot it, and then you'll just kind of overlay, and you're looking at it in the camera, moving them. And while you're changing the composition, your assistant's going in there, swapping the gel out. So she went from a red gel to a green gel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You see how you're composing them kind of off to the side to make sure that it's not seen. And then they did that one more time, right?
Yeah, it's very important to create that 3 poses perfect, because you're creating a silhouette. You have that round light around your couple, and you need enough color at the wall to blend with the other exposure, with the second exposure. So we started with the green one, and then we used the red gel, and after we used the blue gel, and they blend like these in the composition, but by taking another distance from the couple, you also create a little bit depth in the photo. So the left one is bigger than the right one in the composition, but the middle one is also a little bit tinier, and of course another pose. So we try to create another posing. So you create a creative, colorful, and dynamic image.
That's so cool. So Arnold, the colors in the back, the ones in the center there, the smaller images, it's red and green combining together to create the yellow. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like the old television. You have all the RGB colors. With these colors, you can create all the colors.
Yeah.
And in the past, the old 80s and 90s television, there were the tiny light spots, and they have these colors. And with these colors, you can create and mix all the other colors.
Yeah.
So that was what we did with this multi-exposure image.
That's so cool. I love it. Honestly, this is something that when I looked at it, I was like, okay, I could throw that in Photoshop, but I mean, to do this and then to turn around and show your clients the image, it's like you got to be just absolutely mind blowing. They basically got to look at that and say, what in the world? We hired the world's greatest photographer to create something as cool as this. So
yeah. I always show my picture, the creative result in camera. I shoot always on a warm white balance, about 6000 on a Canon. So the result is always colorful. So when you show your client that picture, they are super happy, but they also trust you more as a photographer, especially on a wedding. And when you are shooting on a wedding and you are doing something creative, and you can show them what you did a few minutes ago with your clients in camera, they like you, and oh wow, he's fantastic. That's a good photographer. Yep. If you don't show your image, somebody can tell them, oh, that's Photoshop, or that's but then your client will tell that person, no, there's no Photoshop, he did that live with us. And that's why I always share my images with my clients while shooting.
I love it, man. Thank you so much for sharing that video too, and so we can kind of take a peek behind the scenes. I know the rest of the images that we're going to share here, we do have behind the scenes photos for each one of them. So if you guys are watching, stay tuned, because you're going to see some really cool images as well as some behind the scenes, so you can see exactly how Arnold creates it. So Arnold, with that, is that cool if we go into the next image?
Yep.
All right. So tell us about this one here.
Yeah, this one is also, I like environments, boring environments, trashy environments, and environments every photographer walks away from it. But I love those environments. It was a container in the city. We were shooting with a workshopper, and a container has a special structure. I did that a few years ago with another container. But with this one, we did it a little bit different. So we saw that container; it was green, and with I think an orange or a full CTO gel, we lit the girl from the left, but we also lit the structure in that container. All those vertical structures were lit from the left by that orange full CTO color. But that also creates a kicker and a sort of a hairlight on the girl. But the second important thing was that we have to lit her face, and we did that with the MagMod. With the MagMod, you can create a super nice beam of light, a tiny beam of light, perfect in the face. But when we did the test shoot, the test image, we saw there's a little bit too much darkness on her body. So at that time, we thought it would be perfect to add a third light on her with a grid, so we don't have a lot of spill light on that container, and you see that gridded beam of light that hits the container, but it didn't affect the orange or the CTO color. So we perfect balanced the light sources, the 3 light sources, and her body and the jacket was lit a little bit by that third light. So we have a 3 light setup at the container. And I think if a model or a bride and groom tell a photographer, oh, I want to shoot with that container, they want, oh, no, I want to walk away. But yeah, we like to shoot on very difficult and boring and trashy locations. we want to create from nothing something special, from nothing to awesome.
Yeah, well, you did it here, man. I love it, and I think what's cool about this image is it reminds you that as you're looking around, to not just look for these flat walls, but look for texture, and then with that texture, know that you can insert some color in there, with gels from the back. And I like how you use the grids to really control it, and then how you put the snoot on her face to basically overpower the color and essentially get that light right on her face there. So cool, man. Love the shot.
Yeah, I like to create dynamic images, and of course, a lot of light techniques are the same. When I'm looking back for 5 years, I use the same light techniques than 5 years ago. But when you're thinking in layers, not Photoshop layers, but light layers, you can create dynamic lighting in any location. And with that, with underexpose, you can create super creative and dynamic images for your clients.
That's excellent. Love it. Good stuff, Arnold. Good stuff. Let's I'm going to bring up this next image, which is actually one that I would say is kind of a common request, or I've been getting it more on engagement sessions and stuff. And it's this one here where they're spraying the champagne. And I know photographers have seen images like this, but I like how you created this with I think it was 1 light, if I'm not mistaken. But tell us about this shot here.
It's a 3 light setup.
It's a 3 light?
Yeah, 3 light.
Then
the trick is to lit the spray in the air with 2 lights, and to hit your bride and groom or your couple with a key light. So we always start with the key light, and the key light was a Max Fair, and I think medium zoom, dus not super wide, but a little bit zoom on your bride and groom, so you can underexpose your couple. Let's check it out. Yeah, my basic settings are 160 shutter speed, ISO 100, and an f-stop 8, and with that you can underexpose almost everything in the late evening or in the beginning of the evening when it's a little bit dark. The only thing what you have to do after underexpose that image, you have a black image, you start with a key light. You start with that Max Fair, hit your bride and groom without champagne, create a sort of posing, and check your image in your camera. And when that setting is good, you add 2 more lights. And as you can see in the behind the Max Fair, you see a little stand about 1 yard height, and that's a bare speed light. Almost full power, medium to full power and super wide, so that will hit the bride and groom a little bit from the left.
Yep.
And but it also hit the champagne in the air. But the trick is to add another speed light on the ground, and you can see that behind the couple, you see
Yep.
a bare speed light, and that's aimed about 45 degrees up. So you also have extra light in the air, so you create that super nice spray effect
Yeah.
without affecting your couple.
I,
You see a
I
little bit. You see a little bit exposure from that light on our dress on the right. But with this setup, you always can create a perfect champagne spray effect. Important is that you pose the couple perfect, but also tell them, because you only have 2 or 3 shots that will hit the champagne spray. Smile and have fun. Smile and have fun. Don't be afraid from that champagne. I see a lot of champagne showers, but you see always the bride like and that's not nice. So try to pose them perfectly and tell them to smile and have fun, and maybe try another bottle. Normally we have 1 or 2 bottles for this.
Yeah, get the cheap champagne so you can try it a couple times.
Oh, the cheap champagne don't spray it enough.
Really?
Always use the big. We always use the expensive champagne, so we can drink also a little
At the end there?
champagne after.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You know, so Arnold, I saw the behind the scenes and I did not even notice those 2 flashes there. The one back here in the bushes as well as the one on the ground. But I like how you mentioned that they're there to help light up that spray, to really get all those particles of water and everything else, so that it captures it in the sky, in the frame there. The other thing that I think is notable about this image is I think it's important that people notice that your flash is way over here, kind of at this between 3 and 4 o'clock position, because I think so often we tend to put the flash real close to us. And then you don't get this really cool dimension of light that you're getting on this image, where you get they're kind of like they're short lit. They're basically their shadow, is kind of on this side, his shadow, and you get this really cool short lit shot. So I think that's another thing that's really important to just point out is when you're doing these types of shots, is don't be afraid of pushing that flash further over to the side there, and create that dimension as opposed to just flat right next to you.
Yeah. And as you can see, the light is about the same height as the couple, so you don't get ugly shadows. When you're trying to create a Rembrandt light, sometimes the light on the nose from the bride is like a shadow on her face. So I try to lit the couple straight in the face. And with a sort of short light effect, and that will create less shadows in the face. And less shadows on their arms, like that. So you have super dynamic light and beautiful shadows behind them.
I love it. Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. Good stuff. Arnold, tell us about this one. This is another incredible image.
Yeah, this was a wedding from a few weeks ago in a super luxury venue, and but we only get 30 minutes for the shoot, so that was a little bit not a lot of time for us. Normally we take about 1.5 hour, 2 hours, and before we went for the shoot, we get some champagne, so we have about 20 minutes left. But we have our MagMod bag always in the car, so we grab our MagMod bag, and I saw a beautiful light structure in that venue, and they and at the left, you can see that here. There are bricks, and there is LED lighting behind the steel structure, and that creates that light effect. But at the left of this LED brick light, was a sort of wood structure with a leather structure, a super nice structure, a luxury structure. It wasn't wood; it was like old wood combined with leather. And what we did, we create a warm balance. So the white light will be a little bit orange, as you can see in this image at the right. And we created a rim light and a backlight. I think a rim light and a backlight in one. That's a setting. Let's check it out. Oh. So we backlit that wall with a blue gel.
Yeah.
And we at the same place we put another stand in that other stand, and that will create a rim light to the couple. You can see that maybe in the behind the scene
let's look at it.
Image. If you zoom in, you see two stands.
Let's see if we can zoom in here. Let's see. It's not letting me go in, but I can see right here though.
Yeah. You see one rim light and one backlight, and that backlight that creates that blue light on that wall, and blue and orange are the opposite colors in the color wheel, so that creates a super nice creative effect.
Yeah.
And but it's important that your flashes never create a shadow on your couple or on your wall. So it's very important on this short distance to place your speed lights perfectly. And that other speed light, that's the rim light, that creates that rim effect between them, and that also creates a little bit light on his jacket and in her neck and a little bit on the dress, and that separates the bride and groom from that blue wall. So you don't have a silhouette, but you have a medium silhouette with a rim light, and that creates a more dynamic effect. And we choose for this composition orange, blue, and a nice couple with warm light.
Yeah, I love it. I've said this before in other How I Shot It's, but that orange and blue are two just great complementary colors. So if you ever find orange, look at using a blue gel, or vice versa. If you have a blue environment, try to use some kind of orange. They always work so well together. I love how you use the what was there already with regards to the structure, on the right hand side there. And built that into the photograph by exposing properly for that, and then adding that blue gel to complement it. So super cool, man. Good stuff.
Yeah. You have always look around at the venue. There are always opportunities, also in boring and ugly environments. Never give up. Look around, and grab your MagMod gear, and make something creative for your couple. Yeah,
absolutely. I totally agree with you there. All right, Arno, tell us about this another incredible image here.
Yeah, this was shot on Ibiza, a party island.
Yes.
In the from Spain. I hosted 4 workshops there, and this one was last year. And we posed the couple on that rock, but I always try to avoid that the horizon line will hit the neck, or so they fit exactly in the box. I will always work frame in frame, and we only need one light, and we had the 36 strip box from MagMod with the Pro Photo 10 on it, and that will lit them from the left. Also the same sort of short light like the other image with the champagne shower or spray. So you create a dynamic lightning on that rock, so they will pop out on a big image. They are very small, but your eye is tending to the couple.
Yeah.
And what I like with the 36 strip box is it's a longer rectangle box that will hit the bride and groom always perfectly from that distance. It's,
Yeah.
I use the 24 octa and the 36 strip. That are the most used softboxes on my shoots when I use softboxes.
I like those too as well, just because of the portability sake of it. Of course, I always enjoy, the beautiful soft light from the 42 when I can get it in close, but for portability and, especially when you're outside close to the ocean where there's bound to be wind and things like that, it just makes so much sense to 36 or 24. So good stuff, man. I really like this image, and I love the point that you made about making sure that horizon doesn't cut their neck. That either raising yourself or lowering yourself in order to make sure that you don't get it right there. It just seems like it always happens. And if that's one thing that photographers can take away is like when you're shooting on that horizon, make sure that you're not cutting their neck. That's just the worst spot to put that horizon at.
Yeah, and with the mirrorless, you can flip out your screen
Mm-hmm.
and turn it downwards, and you can rise your camera higher
Yeah.
for hitting the perfect composition.
Yeah. Yeah. No excuses, right?
Yeah, in the past we have to jump for that with the with the DSLR, but today we use the mirrorless and we flip out that screen and we
Yeah.
rise it above
Same thing.
our
Same
head.
thing. Same thing when I'm going down. My old
Yeah,
age, I flip out the screen and I just look down and I put it down close to the ground. Yeah. So
yeah.
very
No,
cool.
no, no more laying on the ground.
Yeah. Thank goodness, right? All right, Arno. We got another image here. Tell us about this amazing one.
Yeah, we the couple wanted a super nice sunset, but that day there was no sunset, but there were also a lot of trees. So if there was a sunset, we didn't see the sunset because there were too much trees around the venue, so you cannot see the sun. So we wait till it about after the dinner, just after the first dance, and
Uh-huh.
we took the couple outside, and with a simple two light and whole CTO setup, you can create sunlight everywhere. You can see a highlight for lit all those leaves in the tree, and we use that about 1.5 yard flash with also the we call that the fake sunlit MagMod gel. That's the
Mm-hmm.
whole CTO gel for the rim light, and with that double light setup, you can create sunlight on any location
That's awesome,
like that.
man. I love that. It's such a beautiful setup. So what we're looking at here is the couple was in front of this light right here. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, they were in front of that light, and I posed them exactly in the shape between those leaves.
And
So
and
it's
the
also
oh, sorry, Arno, I was just going to ask. In this light, this tall light right here, did you have to
yeah.
Photoshop that out later? Was it up here somewhere, or was it hidden behind these trees somehow?
Yeah, I think I did Photoshop a little bit
Okay,
because it, yeah, or we moved the stand a little bit away,
okay,
or I did AI job in the Photoshop beta
like a
that works.
generative. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's in 2 seconds. The speed light is away.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, because I was trying to make sense of just seeing where you have the one image down below, and then you have the one flash up high, and so I was trying to kind of imagine the placement. But I could also see how you'd have the one image down here, lighting them up, and then maybe that other image that was here, I could even almost see it being moved over this way just a little bit more, or like you said, little AI or Photoshop, and it would take it right out.
Yeah.
So really, really cool stuff, man. I love that. Um, Good stuff. Arnold, what a pleasure it is to always talk with you and just go through some of these images that you have and learn about, the ways that you're using light to construct. It's just, a lot of good takeaways, again, for photographers that are learning Flash and even learning composition. I love that trick with the 3 multiple exposures and the reminder about, the horizons cutting. It just seems like that always gets us. All these things is just really, really good information. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And
Yeah.
thank you for supporting me always.
Oh, of course, man. You deserve it. You're amazing. And guys, if you haven't already, go check out Arnold's Instagram page and be sure to give him a follow. And then go check out all his instructional stuff, all his ebooks and Patreon account and everything. I just love what you're doing, Arnold. I even love that from the Netherlands, you've now gone to WPPI in Vegas 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah, no, that's my last time was my 10th time.
Your 10th time?
Yeah, I had
Then
a
how did we
special
not meet before then? That's crazy. Because I remember when the first time you went, I was like, not the first time, but the time that I saw you, I was like, hey, Arnold, you came all the way from the Netherlands. I had no idea that you've been 10 times. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm always incognito.
Incognito.
But
Well,
but after 2018, I decided to contact more people at the side of the ocean, and I met Sean Lara, other ambassadors, and now we have a super big MagMod group every year in Vegas. So that's super nice.
yeah. Well, maybe that's what it was. When you were incognito, I didn't know you were there. So, so I sure appreciated when I got to know you. And unfortunately, I haven't been the last year, 2 years. I don't know,
Yeah,
ever since the whole COVID thing.
2020, before the pandemic, was the last time.
Yeah.
That was in Mandalay Bay, and after that, in 2021, there was a travel ban for Europe. So so there was in August a small WPPI. So I was so I didn't like that because there was a travel ban. But last year I went to Vegas with in February. Yeah, that was. But the Netherlands were closed. We have to wear all those face masks. And,
Oh, yeah.
the shops are open, but the restaurants was a little bit closed. But I went to Vegas, and it was one party there, and I went back to a closed Netherlands. But a few weeks ago, after that, everything reopens. Thank God. And this year I was also in Vegas, and it's growing. It's growing again, WPPI, but it's super nice there. And there are a lot of MagMod ambassadors every year.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm hoping to make it this year for sure.
I hope so. Yeah.
I had gone 15 years in a row, and then after the whole COVID thing, I hadn't been back yet. Mainly it was honestly just being with family and stuff. It was more the time focus, but I'd like to make it back this year. I always enjoy seeing the friends there, so it'll be sure good to see you as well. So.
Yeah, we were waiting for you there.
Right. Well, Arnold, thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time. I know it's like 11:15, 11:30 or something at night there in the Netherlands.
Yeah. It's
nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I got to go on Amazon and buy myself a lightning bolt, neon lightning bolt. But I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to have this chat with me and to teach all of us. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. I like to share everything, so thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. Guys, if you're watching How I Shot It for the first time, be sure to give us a subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And there are over 130 episodes of How I Shot It, where I've done these interviews with amazing photographers just like Arnold from all over the world, sharing how they're using Flash and how they're creating amazing photos. So be sure to check those out. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Arnold. You have a great night, okay?
Thank you. Have a great one.
All right, take care.